What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and I'll be talking about what exactly went down on AEW Rampage. I'll say maybe not the #1 AEW Rampage of 2024, but it had some #1 matches on the card, especially the Best Friends versus the Undisputed Kingdom, and we also have Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. Happy birthday to Super Ninja Austin. That's right. But anyway, and the Outcast. Oh, I love it. Uncle SNA loved it. We have our cake and we did eat it, like Simon Miller would say. Don't eat it. Okay, candles first. But anyways, let's talk about the match of the night. Well, I'll say match of the night. I would say perhaps second match of the night, right? They did a pretty good job having the opener match be on the second match of the night, which I think that should be the case. But this is where we got Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. And Orange Cassidy taking on Roderick Strong and Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett. Yay! But anyways, this is where we got Orange Cassidy start off with Roderick Strong, saying with Roderick Strong like, Orange, this is only gonna be the preview of what I'm gonna do with you at Revolution when I become the international champion. I was like, you're more cooler than this, like you were in NXT. I would say yes, you would be, Roddy. But Roddy, now's not the time for you to be champion. This is Orange Cassidy like, whatever you say, Mr. Strong, if you really like your last name, and you are strong. This is where Orange Cassidy tried to go for the move that he will never hit, Super Ninja Austin. Okay, I will eat it. It is okay if Uncle Super Ninja Austin gives it to your Uncle Simon. It can. I save a piece for Uncle Simon. But anyway, because he loves cake too, and he said he was glad to be invited to Super Ninja Austin's birthday. And on Tuesday, we're doing an NXT review. But anyways, that's a story for another day. But anyways, this is where he tried to go for the move that he'll never hit Super Ninja Austin, the Orange Punch. But this is where Roderick Strong moved out of the way, trying to compete in my level of Orange Cassidy never hitting Super Ninja Austin with the Orange Punch. The donuts are here. What about your mandarins? Not mandarins. I mean your tangerines. Mandarins are more smaller and they're more skin more skinless and fleshy. Well, I'll say fleshy, it's juicy. This is where the referee had the break things off with the brawl. This is where we have Wardlow with Adam Cole by walking his wheelchair. This is where we start off with Trent Beretta and Mike Bennett. This is where This is where Mike Bennett attacks him from behind and kicks him in the gut. This is where he start hitting some right hands and start stomping on the Trent Beretta, like right into the bottom left corner. This is where he start hitting knife edge chops, which he was the latest guy that Gunther added on his envy list. Which he was like, oh, he's a former WWE superstar. I don't give a damn. If he's part of this company and he's happy and he's hitting a knife edge chop, he's going to get what he deserves from the ring general. Okay, thank you so much. But yeah, this is where Trent Beretta hit a knife edge chop. This is where Gunther was like, hey, how many times do I have to tell you, stop mocking me? And this is where he's like, no wonder Kofi Kingston don't like you, even though I'm not sure if I like the Dreadlock Dynamo, but I can see why, because he's nothing but a mockery. But anyway, this is where Trent Beretta hit a forearm right to his face. Afterwards, this is where Mike Bennett hit a chop in a big boot right in the. Okay, I blew him. Now can I save a piece from my fellow YouTubers, Uncle. Especially Uncle Simon. After all, it is Uncle SNA's birthday. Okay, I'll eat it. I guess we got our cake tonight, like for both SmackDown and Rampage. Which it is Super Ninja Austin's pre-weekend birthday. But anyways, this is where we got have Mike Bennett picks up Trent Beretta. Irish whip him right to the bottom. Trent Beretta counters out of it. Irish whip him instead. This is where he ducks, leapfrogs, and then this is where he hits the meteor right into Mike Bennett's face, which he was making a huge comeback. This is where Trent Barretta's like, what do you have in your defense? This is where he started hitting knife edge chops. Gunther was not so pleased. Gunther was very ticked off, probably watching this. This is where he's like, it's one thing that Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa does this, but guys like Trent Barretta and Mike Bennett from AEW doing this, this is going a step too far. I was like, what do you expect? It's going way out of hands. It's going way out of hand. That's why I was like, yeah, like, what do you expect? They're AEW. They're gonna mock you, Gunther. Like, you're in WWE, so that's what they're gonna do. But anyway, this is where Rocky Romero hits a forward roundhouse kick right into the gut of Mike Bennett. This is where he does a wrist lock right onto Mike. This is where he bends it right forward. This is where he repeats to do the bend. But this is where Mike Bennett picks him up and then a spinning body slam. Rocky Romero's like, ow, my lower back. This is where he tags in his tag partner, what's his name? Matt Taven. That's what it was. Matt Taven. This is where he starts stopping, hitting right hands, hitting knuckle punches. This is where he Irish whip him from the upper to the bottom. This is where he try to go for a clothesline, but this is where Rocky Romero then runs right through there. This is where he hits a drop kick right in here. Okay, excuse me for a second. I'm gonna help my nephew sort something out. All right, Birdie. What do you want Uncle Super Ninja Austin? What do you want him to put on for the birdie? How come not eating the strawberries?
Here's the first item. Okay, don't look into hot.
Ryan's World? The beach? Okay. What, the miraculous ladybug? Yeah. Okay.
Done already. It's just about fucking stop. What do you need to do? Do you know where the clue is? It's a remote. I gotta get it. I'll be a distraction. You get that remote.
Ooh, now word house. But anyways, back to the review video. This is where we got Matt Taven's like, we're the Undisputed Kingdom. This is where Trent Barretta came back. And this is where he helps out his tag partner. This is where they hit a double knee strike right on to Matt Taven. As soon as he turned around, this is where Rocky Romero and Trent Barretta was like, yeah, let's go do this. This is where Trent Barretta then got back. This is where he tried to go for look like go for a suplex, but he placed him front like the front body first right into the left corner side right corner side ropes on the top rope. This is where like facing Trent Barretta. This is where what's his name jumped right off the top turnbuckles and rope, like in the upper left corner. Rocky Romero knee and then right in the back. This is where he flips right over into a snapmare position where Trent Barretta hitting a running knee right to the face. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Matt Taven kicks out at 2.1. This is where Trent Barretta's like, okay, that didn't work. This is where he tried to pick up what's his name? Matt Taven, I believe. Yeah. This is where he picks him up. This is where he hits a big forearm right to the right forearm. This is where fans were chanting for Trent. This is where he Irish whipped Matt Taven right to the bottom corner rope. This is where he tried to wait for him to come so he can hit him with a running rope-bounded maneuver. But this is where Matt Taven grabs onto the ropes like if he was looking like if he was about to go into the edges of a volcano, like you're trying to make sure he doesn't fall right back in, like if he's hanging on to the clothesline. Like this is where Trent Beretta trying to clothesline him out of the ring, but he gets booted right in the face. This is where he tags in Roderick Strong. This is where he trying to go for a huge clothesline of his own, but Trent Beretta ducks and hits a German suplex onto him. This is where he trying to go for a second German suplex, like if he was his own version of Kurt Angle, like with the 3 German suplexes in a row. But this is where he tried to go for a third time, which it wasn't a charm, unfortunately, because Roderick Strong counters out of it, tried to go for a German suplex. But when that didn't work, this is where he pushes him right into the upper right corner, right into the face. Face first, right in the turnbuckle. This is where he tried to charge, and he was right on his back, but he gets kicked right in the face. This is where Roderick Strong got distracted by Mike Bennett. And this is where he gets caught and hits him with a backbreaker right onto Trent Beretta, thanks to the distraction of his teammate Mike Bennett. And when he tags in, what's his name? Matt Taven. This is where he starts stomping onto him. This is where he starts choking the hell out of what's his name? Trent Beretta. This is where he tags in Mike Bennett. This is where he starts stomping onto him. This is where he starts hitting front elbow strike right into the face of Beretta. This is where he picks him up. This is where he tries to go for a suplex, like a running brainbuster. This is where Matt Taven tried to go for a flatlining splash, but luckily Trent Beretta, in his case, moved right out of the way. But unfortunately for Matt Taven, he went face first right onto the hard, unforgiving canvas. This is where we got what's his name? Trent Beretta trying to go for a tag to Orange Cassidy, but he gets stopped by Mike Bennett, but he kicks him right out of his way. This is where I believe he hits him with Snapdragon suplex. This is where I believe was a Snapdragon suplex, I believe. No, he turned him around and hit him with a Snapmare Dragon suplex. That's what it was, not Snapmare. Snapdragon suplex. This is where he tags in Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy finally got back. Finally got in the match. Like the first time of being a legal man in this 6-man tag match. This is where he hit the crossbody right onto Matt Taven when Mike Bennett moved out of the way. This is where Mike Bennett go for a close on. Orange Cassidy takes out of the way, going for a flying head scissor, turn it to a spin around stunner right onto Mike Bennett. That's what he did it to. This is where Orange Cassidy then run right towards the right corner side, trying to go for a running attack move on to Mike Bennett. But this is where Matt Taven saved the day to Mike Bennett by pushing him out of the ring. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline to Orange Cassidy. He ducks, goes running right from the left corner side now, going for a flying head system DDT. This is where he does go for a kip up. This is where he went face to face with Roderick Strong, with him still being on the outside onto the right side of the apron. This is where Orange Cassidy's like, I haven't forgot about you, you slick manipulative SOB. Like, I saw what you did to my friend Chuck, and I'm gonna get justice for him. Like, by beating you and your buddies in this match and retaining my international championship at 2 weeks from this Sunday. You know, Roderick Strong's like, no, you're not. Like, you're gonna feel the wrath of the Undisputed Kingdom. And this is where the distraction might have worked in a way partially at this moment. This is where we had what's his name? Mike Bennett, like, then pushes Orange Cassidy right into the bottom corner, try to close out. Orange Cassidy ducks. That's where Orange Cassidy tried to run a charge, which I'm not sure if it was the orange punch, but it would have been something. But this is where Mike Bennett counters and hit a double-A spine buster. This is where Rocky Romero hits a running European uppercut and a discus right band to the face and a step up in Sagiri. This is where Roderick Strong hits a Claymore-like kick right into Rocky Romero's face. This is where Trent Beretta got back in the ring and started trying to get back up by grabbing onto the top ropes, onto the upper the upper left corner. He was very strong. Yeah. Try to hit a move on it, but he counters hit the tornado DDT. But this is where Matt Taven hits a springboard instigiri kick. Orange Cassidy hits the move, trying to go for a move that he'll never hit Super Ninja Austin, which is the Orange Punch. But not only Roderick Strong's trying to get in competition with me, but also his teammate Matt Taven's trying to get in competition, or trying to be the only guy and never been Orange Punched by the freshly squeezed Orange wrestler. But this is where we got what's his name? This is where we have Matt Taven hits a spinning cartwheel kick right into the face of Orange Cassidy. This is where he goes for a springboard lion salt, trying to do an inspiring maneuver to pay his respects to the Ocho Y2J. But this is where Orange Cassidy hit a kip up, super kick him right to the face. This is where Orange Cassidy hit, trying to go for an orange punch, but he didn't have a chance. He gets super kick right into the face. Here's where both Taven and Cassidy were still in the ring, laying out. This is where we got everything rearranged. This is where we got this is where this is where Orange Cassidy then put Matt Taven right into the upper right corner on the top rope, try to go for a suplex. But this is where Mike Bennett saved his friend by flipping him right over. This is where Mike Bennett saw the referee was being too distracted to Roderick Strong, right? But because it was the part of the plan that he punched him straight right into the family jewels, because without that you can't start a family. And it looks like, unfortunately, whenever Orange Cassidy finds love, it looks like he won't be starting a family with that significant other anytime soon, because he just punched him right down there, probably stuck back in. I don't want to talk about much more about it. Punch him right in. But this is where he hit the pile drive. This is where Matt Taven then slammed him right into the head first, right into the ground. This is where Roderick Strong hits a baseball sliding kick right into Rocky Romero, right into the right side corner. This is where, what's his name, got justice for his best friend, Trent Beretta, for Rocky Romero and maybe Chuck Taylor, right on the Roderick Strong. This is where Matt Taven then go for a suicide dive right onto the Trent Beretta, right into the upper corner of Barry's tombstone. This is where he got thrown back in the ring, but as soon as he got back up, this is where Mike Bennett then ran out of nowhere, hit a clothesline right into him. This is where we got Mike Bennett then go for a power bomb with Matt Taven going for a zigzag maneuver, like a reverse face plant right into a power bomb / back planet, in the combo. This is where we got Rocky Romero right into the bottom corner of the corner. This is where Matt Taven and Mike Bennett trying to charge at him. This is where he smartly slides in the opposite time when they got out. This is where he hits a suicide dive on both men. This is where he throws Mike Bennett right back in the ring. This is where what's his name? Rocky Romero took a page out of Dragon Lee's playbook, hit him with that surfboard reverse DDT right on to Mike Bennett. This is where Matt Taven then hit a big boot right into his face. This is where Matt Taven then from the left on the right corner side. This is where he tried to go for a pop-up powerbomb, which I'm not sure the prize fighter was very pleased about that. But he had enough to worry about, especially with Dominic, and he's going to face him 7 days from now. But this is where we have Rocky Romero right onto the lower right corner. This is where he was trying to reel what's his name? Matt Taven in, but this is where Mike Bennett tried to help his friend by preventing him to hit that reeling lariat maneuver. But this is where it backfired on him. This is where he tried to grab onto the leg of Rocky Romero, tried to go for a step up instigiri, but he ducks the first time, but he gets kicked right back, even though it was kind of botched, but he managed to execute the move successfully. This is where he tried to go for the reeling clothesline, which he clothesline, which he did so right onto both. Not only the Matt Taven in the bottom right, but also to his teammate Mike Bennett, which he was in the diagonal corner in the upper left corner. In the diagonal corner in the upper left. This is where he started going clotheslines back and forth, I believe at least 3 different times. Which he's going back like clothesline the mat and then the clothesline to the mat, the clothesline to Mike, to the men that have their name starts with an M. Until we try to go for a 4th attempt, but he gets intercepted by Roderick Strong with a big knee strike, with pretty impressive. And even though he's been doing that way before it was the most common move in 2024, he's still made it famous, especially for the fact that it's a signature move. But this is where Roderick Strong tried to pick up Rocky Romero. This is where he goes for that suplex backstab maneuver, which is the end of heart. That's what it is. End of heartache. This is where he did onto Rocky Romero. And got the 1, 2, 3. And your winners of the second match of the night in the opener, the Undisputed Kingdom, which is the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions Matt Taven and Mike Bennett and Roderick Strong. This is where he's like, go get the chairs, Wardlow. This is where Wardlow started throwing chairs for the Kingdom, but they were placing them right onto the middle of the ring, facing each other. This is where Roderick Strong hits the what's that called? The pain of the end of heartache, I believe it's called. Yeah, the end of heartache. That's what it's called. Yeah. This is where he flipped him back first right into the chair. This is where Roderick Strong we did this. This is where Trip Reddit and I like this. This is where he started trying to throw chairs at the Undisputed Kingdom. You'll pay for this. It's already enough you did this to our boy Chuck. Now, Rocky, we're going to get our justice. This is where Rocky's like, my back. They did it very hard. No. Them heartless pieces of sugar honey iced tea, and not in a sweet, refreshing way. Because it's the words that stands for that. That's what he say. But this is where we got a recap of the match between Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland from this past Wednesday on Dynamite. Make sure you check it out. For those who has YouTube TV or on your DVR on your respective cable services, because it's a match that you don't want to miss, definitely. But yeah, but even though it ended in a tie, it was a pretty good, impressive fight. Let me know what y'all thoughts on that in the comments below for those who watched as well. But who think's gonna win? Yeah, just let me keep it in mind in the comments. But let's move on to the next slide. We got the Young Bucks making a rare appearance on AEW Rampage. I was like, is it 2021 again? But the next time I checked, I was like, nah, it's 2024 because the Young Bucks still acting like this in their proper names, going by Nicholas Jackson and Matthew Jackson. But this is where we do have the match. Yeah, these guys didn't stand a chance that they were facing these guys that were from the area of what city they were in, and in Arizona. They still were. It was in. They were still in the area. Yeah, they were in the area of what's that? Phoenix, Arizona. And this is where they still had the bloody jackets on that they had when they attacked Darby Allin and Sting and Sting's 2 sons. But this is where they face off against these local enhancement talent that were from the area of Arizona, with them being well known in the Indies in the Arizona promotion, which they're called Mondo. What's their names? Mondo Rocks and Robbie Litt. Yeah. And this is where they beat them down, like in a very poorly way. This is where they double team them. This is where they slam one of the guys right into the turnbuckle, like, which I believe was Robbie Litt, because the other one, Mondo Rocks, was in their corner, in the upper corner. This is where they threw their jacket. This is where they threw the jackets off and threw it right into the camera. This is where they continue their beating onto Robbie Litt. This is where Nicholas Jackson then low blows him when Matthew Jackson was not when he was distracting the referee. Of course, it's where he was like, oh no, it was Mondo Rocks. That's what he did when he got tagged in. He low blowed him. This is where he's like, okay, now it's time for us to take advantage. This is where they were like EVPs, like instead of saying BTE or being the elite, like executive vice presidents. This is where they did the double knee strike, which now they're like, because considering they're playing this authority figure gimmick as heels, as a duo heel, with like the type of heels that don't like to be called their shortening names, much rather than their full proper birth certificate name, which is Nicholas and Matthew Jackson. If you don't, then you're going to get a huge scolding and a huge hefty fine if you're working for AEW. And now we know what CM Punk was coming from. And see the true colors of the Young Bucks. But anyway, this is where we got Nicholas Jackson was like, I'm getting tired of all the disrespect. Like, what you fans been bringing? Like, what? Like, what are you talking about when we be giving you disrespect? Like, even when you got in that fight with the Chicago Made Star, we still gave you some support. Like, but some of them may have been hypocrites. Then again, like for those who was criticizing them, and then now they're cheering for them. Like, yeah, that's very hypocritical and 2 + 2 = potatoes for those haters and marks online. But for the hardcore fans, that's very, very, very disrespectful what the Young Bucks just did. Like at the same time. But anyway, this is where we got. Here's what I thought. But we got. We're getting tired of the disrespect. So, like, by showing that respect, like, call us by our God-given names of Nicholas and Matthew Jackson. Like, that's what's gonna be respecting us. And then this is where, Matthew Jackson. Matthew Jackson was trying to act like Jimmy Uso, trying to be the cool one, while Jey Uso was the angry, hot-headed one. This is where he was like, don't mind him. Like, I apologize for my brother. He could be sort of a hothead. Okay, guys, it's okay. Hey, like, listen, you people. He's not looking crazy, looking very unprofessional. Something that's out of his character's emotions, I should say. So like, listen, and start shaking his head comedically. And I was thinking like, if y'all being serious and being very proper, like, why are y'all still acting like y'all about to blow your staff? But anyways, this is where, but this is where we have them like, oh no. And this is where Excalibur was like, Phoenix is not buying it, and neither am I. And this is where Nick and Matt was like, we thought we were here in the first place. They, congratulations to AEW new tag team champions in the future. Not future. What I'm talking about, our new AEW tag team champion. Give them a round of applause. Sting and Darby Allin. It's like, yeah, and it's when this little Darby Allin boy, like a little Darby Allin fanboy, was holding up beside that and knew which they were the new tag team champions, which I thought they were going to win, but not by pinfall nor submission. That's where it's like we heard some very sad and unfortunate news. But we hear like some sad reports about Sting and Darby Allin from our doctor, Doc Sampson. Apparently both Darb and Sting are a little too banged up coming out there a big win. Fans like boo, like, oh, you know what happened to them. Like, and it's not because of their match against Sting and Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Like, they were doing perfectly fine, even though they were actually banged up. But the reason why they got beat up into a bloody mess is because of you guys. And this is where they were not buying it. They thought, like, they were thinking that these are the Tom and Nick twins that R-Truth was referring to, which I'm surprised they didn't call Matt Jackson Tom and call Matthew Jackson Tom, which is short for Thomas. And then we got Nicholas Jackson as well. His name, Nicholas, which is short for Nick, of course. But anyways, that's a story for another day. This is where it is like, all right, guys, we are praying for you guys, Sting and Darby. We're going to be hoping you're okay. And then fans are like, in kayfabe, this is not the case. Like, maybe in real life, in reality, but not. They still boo. Like, we're not buying your lies. Like, boo. And that's where Nicholas Jackson was like, however, boys, I want to let you make one thing clear. Like, our goals here are our objectives. Like, is to get our tag team titles back where it belongs. And fans were continuously to boo, like, boo. Like, not this way, though. And this is where the Young Bucks then continue with Matthew Jackson saying, oh, but y'all marks will be saying, oh, we're just EVP. It doesn't matter. You got EVT status. You're going to politics your way. Whoever takes your way. They're getting this opportunity to happen. Like, no, we're going to be playing by the rules, damn it. Like, we claim our way, and we're just gonna make a statement by beating every tag team that's on the list, that's on the roster right now until we get some stats as number one, and get our opportunity. And this is where it's like, and this is where Tony Schiavone hilariously said, like, number one of my ass, like. Was it him or was it Excalibur? Which that was very, very, very hilarious. Goofy wrestling of the night. And this was like, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do everything what it takes to get our belts back and become 3-time tag team champions, 3-time AEW World Tag Team Champions. And then we're going to continue to cut up those weights on Wednesday. We see Nicholas and Matthew Jackson, your EVPs, and tag team action. And I was like, I'm confused. Are you actually going to face somebody in the tag team division, or is it going to be some local enhancement talent, a.k.a. jobbers, just for an excuse to continue to get their wins and be on the top? Doing it the typical heelish, easy way. But no, surprisingly, they're going to face the top flights of Dante and Darius Martin. And I would give it at least the third match of the night, but then on the other end, but it was just an enhancement squash match, so I'm going to keep it as that way. But this is where it's like, I'm glad we have we all came to this one great heck of a show, or hell of a show, I should say. We put on a massive performance ourselves, and we're going to get, and it was like, you all did a pretty great job so much of being respectful fans. So thank you guys for thank you for the rest of the show. This is gonna be it's gonna be a good rest of the show. Let's go! I was like, what is up with these guys and Thomas Tony Storm? I'm trying to play by more likely on the rules with these heel gimmicks. Like ever since they changed their characters and turned heel, and then it looks like they just completely lost their minds. And I know they're actually EVPs and they're trying to stay like it, but that doesn't mean taking it way too seriously. Even if you be called by your full name, like your full proper God-given name. This is where we got Mystico next in the match, which was just a basic average match, like with Mystico, the former Sin Cara, taking on Matt Sydal, that's right. Like, because they are in the feud. The CMLO Luchadors are in the feud with the likes of the Blackpool Combat Club and Matt Sydal, Christopher Daniels, and 2.0's Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker. This is where we got they start off the match with Matt Sydal and Sin Cara was trying to fight it out. This is where they were like they were saying, no, you're better. I'm the best high flyer. No, I'm the best high flyer. No, like I'm friends with like Rey Mysterio. Like, no, I'm friends with Mysterio. Well, except for that last part. Unless they said that in their minds, if they can read each other's minds. But anyway, this is where we got this is where we had Mystico try to run towards Matt Sydal, but he ducks, and then this is where he runs right to the left side ropes. This is where we got Matt Sydal didn't leapfrog. This is where he tried to go for a flying small flying head scissors until Mystico hits a flying head scissor of his own on the hip and sent him right to the left side of the ringside area. Hit a suicide dive with no hands out, only his elbows and forearms right into the face of Sydal. This is where Matt Sydal intercepts as soon as they got back in the ring. This is where he puts his knees right on the back of Mystico, bending him right back, trying to break his spine and his torso, I guess. I believe I was going a step too far, even though he might have said some insults, he might have did some disrespectful things, especially trying to make a name for himself by trying to attack the whole entire AEW roster, trying to take over the AEW division. With Matt Menard not liking it too, a fellow Matt, of course, next to Matt Hardy. This is like with him saying with Matt Menard saying, like, I understand you're trying to make a name for yourself in the major wrestling promotion, like, but don't do it in a way of disrespect. Like, we're trying to do this, we're doing this for a living to feed our families, and our kids as well, mostly, particularly. Which Matt Sydal was probably agreeing. It was like, yeah, like what he said. It was like Matt Sydal was like, all right, like he trips him right over. This is where he hits him with like a diving corkscrew senton right onto Mystico. This is where they continue to fight it out, like in this match until with Matt Sydal got him right in the face with a drop kick right into Mystico's face. This is where we got Matt Sydal picks him up in the white noise position, but like in a rolling flip pickup position, like when scooping him up off the ground and slamming him. This is where I try to go for a pin, but this is where Mystico kicks out at 2.7, I believe, if not 2.5 or 6. This is where we got them fighting and doing some strikes. This is where we got Mystico kicks him right in the gut. This is where Matt Sydal then hits him with a flying super kick right to the face. This is where what's his name? Mystico hits him with a basement back roundhouse kick right to the gut. This is where Mystico's like I got at least few more steps to go in order to defeat you. This is where he's like, I better get it over with. This is where he tried to go for like a stand-up Falcon Arrow, back face right into the upper right corner of the turnbuckle, right towards there. This is where Mystico tried to take a page out of his Lucha Libre best friend Andrade, like his playbook. Tried to take it out of his playbook. This is where he tried to go for a moonsault the first time. But instead of doing a reverse moonsault, this is where he gets kicked right into the face of Matt Sydal. He's like, I thought this was gonna be it because he didn't move out of the way until the last minute, put his foot up in the air. It's where Mystico waited for what's his name, Matt Sydal, to charge at him, hit him with a power slam. This is where both men were down. This is where we got And this is where we got Mystico finally put him away with the rolling out of a moonsault right off the top rope in the bottom. This is where he picks him up, hits him with that springboard Spanish fly, which I believe that is his finishing maneuver. Got him with the 1, 2, 3. And yeah, he's got the win, continuing his reign against Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels and Matt Menard and Angelo Parker, with the other two CMLL luchadors cheering him on, saying like he did it, like he's your winner of tonight's AEW Rampage, which he's getting the opposite treatment than he ever got in WWE, of course. This is where Renee Paquette was like, "You got some issues with the current FTW champion Hook. Like what? Like you give me an answer. Like what you get? Ask me what is going on between you and Hook lately, as you've been in a path of disagreements is with the current FTW champion. This is where Brian Cage was like, yeah, he was like, why do you think he just hit me with the chair from behind? Like, and think it's gonna be hit and run? No, not today, Hook. Like, well, I'm doing it. I'm looking for a fight. Like, where's Hook? Like, where is he? Like, coincidentally, he's not here. Of course not. He's on the ramp in the cage on Rampage. And this is where then Prince Nana responded about the Hook. He did. And this is where it's like, I think Hook's out. And this is where Prince Nana hilariously said, I believe Hook is at home reading a book. And then I was thinking, like, it rhymes, so it must be true. And if Simon Miller was still doing ups and downs for AEW Rampage, you probably would be saying the same thing. But yeah, this is where he's like, I think he's reading a book like he should be at home. Like what he needs to do instead of running around the town hitting people with chairs in the back. Prince Nana knows how that feels. Like it happened to me on Wednesday, Renee. Like you should know. Like you were the witness when that psychopathic Hangman Adam Page did it to me. This is the man's a machine. He's not your punk from Kentucky that would come in the ring for beat them up. Right, machine? This is where Brian Cage like, of course not. Yeah, the BT, would you be two guys? I can do that any day of the week. I could do that tomorrow on Collision. A matter of fact, let's do that. Now I'm gonna try any two sloppy joes that's in the locker room right now. If you want to see, see and find out and challenge the machine, go ahead and do it tomorrow night. Who's better than Brian Cage? I wonder because there's nobody that's better than the machine, Brian Cage. But that's where the backstage interview ended, and this is where we get ready for the main event and perhaps the number one match of the night, which was none other than Chris Statlander and Willow the Pillow Nightingale taking on the Outcasts, Soraya and Ruby Soho, where we saw the official breakup of the faction or alliance now, because it's only just the two of them, which is Soraya and Ruby Soho, even though they have Harley Cameron. But I'm not sure if she's even a ex-WWE star. The last time I checked, she's not on the list. But anyway, this is where we got. But yeah, this is where we got. This is where we got Ruby Soho trying to go for a right hand, but this is where, Willow Nightingale counters out of it when it started off with the girl that run away and the soft pillow hair. This is where she hits her with a side Russian leg sweep. This is where she got her in a a scissors lock, like a head scissors lock, into an abdominal stretch. With Ruby Soho counter out of it, flipping her into a pin, but she only got a 1-2. This is where she tried to tag in Soraya, but she got dragged, pulled away by Willow the Pillow, hit her with a fisherman's plex, but this is where she only got a 2.1 count. This is where Willow Nightingale Irish whipped her to her corner to the bottom right. This is where she hit the clothesline right onto her, tags in her tag partner Chris Statlander. And this is where Willow Nightingale Irish whip Ruby Soho from the bottom right corner towards Chris Statlander. She hit the shoulder tackle. She was yes, I got her continuing to stay down. This is where she picks her up right into a fallaway position, but she hit her with a body slam to Ruby Soho. But right before she did, she gets tagged in by Willow. This is where she runs right to the bottom corner, hits the sliding kick. This is where Willow Nightingale hits a flying basement crossbody, but she gets kicked out instantly at 2 even. This is where Willow Nightingale did Irish whip her right into the upper right corner. This is where she hits a running hip attack right onto to what's her name, Ruby Soho, rubbing her backside right in front of Ruby Soho. I was like, I'm not sure if it has anything PG written all over it. Like, even though it's all part of the fun, like, into this match, like, not gonna take it too serious around here. Just saying, like, in a funny way, of course. Just don't show Stokely Hathaway. Chris Statlander should have covered his eyes so he wouldn't be reminded on what he might have done if these claims were true about him and Willow the Pillow. If she really is soft as a pillow. But anyway, this is where we got Ruby Soho. Right, I put her afterwards. She counters her move she was trying to do on the diagonal corner in the lower left. But this is where they got on the top rope. This is where Ruby Soho, I believe, got pushed off the top rope by Willow Nightingale. This is where the referee tried to check on her to see if she's not injured. But this is where Saraya did the most slick and most dishonest thing in professional wrestling and tag team professional wrestling / sports entertainment, and trip her over back first right onto the turnbuckle in the bottom left corner. This is where Soraya's like, come on, continue, beat her. You should have taken advantage of my opportunity, Ruby. And this is where Ruby's like, I'm trying, but I got pushed off. And this is where they start arguing, like, because like they just some reason they just don't like each other. They coming up with reasons why they should be arguing, but I'm not sure if that made any sense. But anyway, this is where we got they're tagged in. This is where they start doing double teams on the Willow Nightingale until Willow Nightingale finally got the tag right onto Chris Statlander, and this is where she hit her signature move. This was trying to go for a pin, but I believe who was it? It was, I believe, Saraya, I believe. Yeah. Oh no, it was Ruby Soho. Yeah, it was Ruby Soho. But Willow Nightingale came for the save and knocked her and brought her down like with a clothesline, I believe, or a tackle. But this is where she gets super kicked right into the face by Saraya, but Chris Statlander hit a clothesline of her own. This is where Ruby Soho tried to hit the no future, which she successfully did, but Chris Statlander slowly but surely went down to the ground. This is where Willow Nightingale did try to go help her friend, try to hit a running attack move onto Ruby Soho. I did not know exactly what she was hitting. She just tried to run towards her, but Ruby Soho grabs on her arm, try to go for a ripcord German suplex, but this is where along with Saraya, try to go for a closeout and knock her head off. But this is where Willow the Pillow ducks out of the way, and this is where Saraya accidentally hits her own tag partner right into the face. And that's where Saraya was like, why would you do that? And this is where Saraya was like, well, Ruby, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean it. Like, I wouldn't intentionally do something like that. It's where Saraya was like, how could you? This is where they weren't being what's that called? Open-minded at the time, because when they turn back around, this is where they get double clotheslined by Willow the Pillow Nightingale out of nowhere. And this is where both landed right on the ground. This is where Chris Statlander went for the pin on Saraya, but this is where Saraya kicks out at 2.2. This is where Chris Statlander was like, great. Like, of course she would do this. This is where Saraya tried to hit a forearm right onto the midsection. This is where Chris Statlander went right to the face. This is where Saraya went back, and this is where they start hitting forearms turned to fist right to the face, going for a fist fight until she dodges out the last fist punch that Saraya was trying to do to the former AEW TBS champion. But this is where she hits her with a swift kick right to the face in the attic, in the forearm attic swift roundhouse kick. This is where Chris Statlander goes for the least most devastating move in all sports entertainment, because he was arguing at the same night with Sami Zayn when he was wrestling Randy Orton tonight. and this was I was referring to, of course. Yeah, Chris Statlander hits the move, which Simon would call it the least most devastating move in all sports entertainment, unless you're in Saudi Arabia, the Blue Thunder Bomb. And they were like, we're gonna hit it respectively on tonight, like with Sami Zayn saying, I'm gonna hit it on SmackDown, while Chris Statlander was like, yeah, me too. Except this on AEW Rampage, he was like, and Simon's like, are you guys out of your mind? How many times I had to tell the both of you that never works unless you're in Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel or Night of Champions or Super Showdown or whatever of those PLEs that they're going to have this year in Saudi Arabia in the afternoon here or in the morning time in America and like afternoon in the United Kingdom, I believe. Yeah, like afternoon or evening in the United Kingdom to be the exact. Yeah. And then it's like in America, like in the early afternoon or late morning. But anyways, do you think that the move worked though? Unfortunately, it didn't because Saraya kicks out at with her left shoulder at 2.7. And this is where Simon said like 2 in a row, two for one at one night. I won the argument that it did not work. I tried to tell them, but they did not heed my warning. And I'll say I kind of do heed your one, at least for now, until either Sami Zayn or Chris Statlander do get to do the Blue Thunder Bomb. We'll finally prove Simon wrong with this argument. But this is where Chris Statlander Irish whips Saraya right to the upper right corner. This is where Chris Statlander hit a big European uppercut right onto the Saraya. This is where she runs right to the bottom rope, just right over her knee to the gut. But this is where Saraya, this is where she turns Chris Statlander away, hits a jawbreaker right onto her. This is where she tried to crawl, try to tag in her outcast friend, Ruby Soho, but this is where she gets kicked and gets countered by Willow Nightingale. This is where she was like, "Come on, tag me in." This is where she pretends she went and she fooled what's her name, Saraya, and bamboozle even. This is where she pulled off her hand, and this is where she got off the apron. This is where Saraya's like, "Where you going? Come back here this instant, Missy." Like, we're not done yet. Missy was just like, "Well, I am." Like, so good riddance, Saraya. And then this is where Harley Cameron did try to stop her. Like she was like, "What are you doing?" Like, "You're not going nowhere. Like, until you finish this match." This was like, "Oh, you're really gonna walk away?" This is where she turned her around, which I don't think that was a good idea. This is where she hit a big knuckle punch right into the face of what's her name, Harley Cameron. And she continued to walk out of there. This is where Willow Nightingale got tagged in by Chris Statlander. This is where she hits her with that gut wrench sit-out powerbomb. Get the 1, 2, 3, and your winners in the main event and the number one match of the night, in my opinion, Chris Statlander and Willow the Pillow Nightingale. But what's your thoughts on this match? This is where Stoke Hathaway's like, "I gotta admit, you did well too." Like Chris Statlander, you did amazing. And he's like, "I gotta admit, you Willow, you did absolutely impressive." And she was like, "Oh, really?" And she act like a big furry animal, like demi animal from anime. And this is where she pick him up like, "Oh, thank you. Even though you creep me out, but thank you. Like if she really did have an affair with the guy, which I doubt that she did. But yeah. This is where Stoke was like, all right, get it. Like, yeah, that's enough hugs. Like, and plus, like, somebody's right behind you. This is where it was none other than Julia Hart. She was like, "Oh, hey, ladies. Like, did you miss me?" And this is where Chris was like, "Oh, what the hell you want?" And Willow Nightingale's like, like a Lucian in a rematch of some sort? Or do you think we're going to see, like, a tag team match on that pay-per-view? Or we could see this match sooner, like on the Collision or AEW Dynamite, like an AEW Dynamite or Collision, or we can see Willow Nightingale get this opportunity. And if she ever did, like before Chris Statlander, we could make Chris Statlander turn her into some kind of a negative, jealous friend of Willow Nightingale. In my opinion, I think that will be the case. If Willow Nightingale somehow gets the opportunity either before or after Chris Statlander, like just right after or right before, like. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me. Like if this rivalry ends with with Julia Hart and Sky Blue, which I would say Will Nightingale could possibly win it, and we could see Chris Statlander be the jealous friend and attacks her and turns heel. But I think that's probably that's months away. Like if Willow the Pillow gets an opportunity that way. And this is where Stokely Hathaway's like, you better stay away from my girls, like you creepy gothic witches, like, or else I'm gonna do the I'll say what kind of kung fu moves? I'll say the karate kung fu moves. I'll say, but isn't that from a fictional sponge underwater sea creature cartoon like karate? I would do the black karate of like still like similarities, but I guess that sure beats being copycat copyrighted I'll say a copyrighted crazy short midget old man. I don't know the best way to describe. I'll say more like a gopher. I'll say a very greedy gopher. I would say, yeah. With him managing two women, one of them that he's currently admiring, but the other one that he formerly admires, but now he's making fun of her. But I was like, what is up? Like, what is up with that though? Like, but yeah, let me know in the comments down below, you SNA fans out there. But yeah, that was your list of or not list. That yes, sir, ma'am. That was your that was the latest AEW Rampage review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Which one was your favorite match or favorite segment? Which I'll say maybe between this backstage interview with Brian Cage and Prince Nana, especially Prince Nana saying Hook must be reading a book at home. That's why he probably couldn't make it at AEW Rampage, which it rhymed. It must have been true. And also this Will Nightingale and Chris Statlander versus Outcast, Saraya, and Ruby Soho match, I should say. But let me know in the comments down below. And I'll say I'll give tonight's AEW Rampage a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'll say for being like not really, I'll say for not being such a the most greatest and stupendous show, I should say. But it still was a very tremendous match, or not just match, it's not being nothing like a special, greatest stupendous match. It was more like an amazingly, like with half the match being amazingly tremendous, I should say. So I'll say it's not very. I'll say it's not. But I'll say yeah, it's. But I'll say it's not. Yeah, but still, it was a great show. Like it still deserved to be like. I'll say 3 out of 5 stars, like 3.5, 5 out of stars, I should say. Like, would it being still a very good show to watch after Friday Night SmackDown if you're a hardcore wrestling fan. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button, subscribe, click the bell notifications, and the notification icon so you can be the first one to know when I upload my latest new videos. Make sure to check out my next latest wrestling news video where I'm going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know on the WrestleZone article on February 10th, 2024, 3 days away from SNA's birthday. And hopefully y'all have a great Friday night, rest of your Friday night. And also, please make sure to check out Rampage, which will have Orange Cassidy defends his international championship against Ishii. We also have Brian Cage going to send out an open challenge of two guys that he can beat down in like less than 2 seconds. Like the show Hook that he can he's not the show Hook that Hook's not the only guy that can beat 2 guys in less than 2 seconds, if not 2 minutes. And also, we also have Adam Copeland finally be back on his Cope Open Challenge, which he's gonna see who's gonna be next in line to be facing them in a very Like that's worthy enough to facing them in a 5-star worthy match, I should say. Yeah. And also, we got some more matches about that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen on tomorrow night's show, which we're gonna have to see for ourselves on what next. What's gonna be the next matches after next? What's gonna be next? That's gonna be scheduled on tomorrow night's show, and also we're gonna probably see some segments and some vignettes of from like with Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe and Hangman Adam Page from this past Wednesday, which Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page, number one contenders, man, ended in a 30-minute time limit draw, which they're going to be both number one contenders for Samoa Joe's championship. And also some other segments that's going to be during the show. And yeah. So make sure to check that out tomorrow night. And I'll be making a review when it goes off the air. Hope y'all have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you all in the next video. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin, the Assassin, out of here. Bye-bye, my SNA fans. Thank you guys for watching to the very end.